Good job, film boy.
That's right. What's going on? Brian Matthews here with Wendell Lee Well Services. Got Grant Floyd, and we are going live today to kind of answer some questions about a residential well specifically. Grant's also got a story here at the very end to kind of go over why it's so important, may I stress, so important to call these guys before you decide to try to do something yourself, whether it's with your water well or your irrigation or your residential water supply at your house. So kind of starting off with the Q&A, Grant. First question is for a residential well. I'm a new homeowner. Got a...
Don't know anything about what you're getting into, right?
Exactly. I've got an idea that I want to have my own water supply or use it for irrigation for my yard. Say I've got...
You want a solar pump too?
Hey, I'll take that, hand pump, whatever you can provide me. So I guess the first question is, how do I go about getting in touch with y'all to determine exactly where my well should be located and the best location for yielding the most water, and making sure that we provide you with an adequate location to be able to bring your equipment in and maintain our well from here on out in the future?
So, number one, you're on the right track, and that's, you know what you want. First thing we tell customers, or any well driller is going to tell customers ultimately, is what do you want to do with it? You're going to be watering cows, you're going to be serving home, you're going to be using it for geothermal use, irrigation, filling up a pond. Ultimately, that's up to the customer. Do you want solar backup? Do you want to put a hand pump on it and have a electric pump on it? You know, ultimately, there's all kind of things you can do with wells. There's all kind of money you can spend out there on wells. You can put multiple wells in. So ultimately, the first thing you, as the customer, the homeowner, whatever, needs to know is, what are you going to do with it?
Okay.
You know, you may not exactly know what you want to do with it until you consult with a professional well driller that comes out to your site, looks over your site. They can normally go over with some options that are available to you that you may or may not know about. So the first thing is, have an idea what you're going to be doing with it. Second thing is obviously get in touch with somebody that has a good character record, good reviews online.
Some awesome YouTube videos.
You know, passes the eye test. Because a well is not a cheap option. You know, some people have access to city water, so they have other options, and some people don't. So, you know, ultimately, you want a company that's has a good reputation and that's going to be fair and treat you right coming out on your property. So they'll come out to your property. They can survey your property for you, make sure the well's put in a location that's abiding by all local and state laws and meets all the proper standards and codes as far as well construction goes.
Going off of that, what are some of those laws? Let's say I've got kind of a tight lot where my house is being built, and you know, we've got water lines, other utilities. Maybe I'm so far off the grid that I'm not hooked up to a septic system, or I should say a sewer system, and I've got a septic tank. What can y'all do as far as being able to work near that or in those tight locations? What are some of those laws and guidelines for that, but also for other water sources? Let's say I have a pond on my property, or I'm near a lake or something. I've got a property at a lake, and I want a well from my house that I'm working on.
You know, every state and local authority is going to be different, but the main thing to know is you're not going to be able to put a well in a floodplain. the well's got to have far enough setback from a pond or a river or a stream, as well as a septic tank or leach field or animal feed lot. Basically anything that has a potential to contaminate a well in a groundwater source, no matter what the well is being used for. So ultimately, this is going to be up to whatever state you're in, whatever local county you're in. Everywhere's different.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that either you, the customer, can research, and also the well driller that you're going to have working for you will also have a lot of experience on as well and can guide you in. And then once this is known, ultimately it's going to be up to the well driller and the customer to put the well in a place where they're not blowing the rock cuttings on another piece of property or not making a mess, and also have access for the well drilling crew to get their trucks and equipment in and work safely.
Okay. So I've called you guys or called a local well drilling company. We've kind of determined exactly where we want the well based on my particular lot. Each case I know is probably completely different. So what's kind of the process after that? Do we make application with y'all? Are there other, I don't know, paperwork that may need to be filled out? Do y'all take care of that? And then once we get all of that done, kind of what's it look like when y'all come out to drill the well or put the well in?
So again, there are certain, we work in multiple states where we're at. We're located in South Carolina. South Carolina, we actually get the permit for the well. The customer or the homeowner can get the permit, but we can get it just as fast. And we're very, very familiar with DHEC standards. North Carolina, we do work up there. It's completely different. It's up to each county has their own health department, and you have to go up there and get the proper permit for your well. Okay. Most of the time, that's done by the homeowner or the customer. Okay. So it's completely different. I know that's not the answer everybody's wanting to hear, but
So what we're learning from this is, like I say, from what I was saying from the beginning, call these guys ahead of time.
These guys meaning not just us, but whoever your
a professional well drilling company,
whoever your well driller of choice is. They're going to know the rules and the regulations around. They have experience doing it every day. Call them. Don't call a plumber. Call a well drilling company that has been involved and does this stuff day in and day out.
Okay, so we've got, like I say, we've got all the paperwork. Everything's out of the way. Donald Trump's not going to come after me for anything right now. So we're calling you guys to come out. We've scheduled a time, a certain day, whatever the case may be, for y'all to come out. So what does that process kind of look like as far as actually drilling the well and getting the pump installed, and what does this equipment kind of look like? Just kind of describing it in a sense. And
so just like any contractor or construction company, well drillers are highly dependent upon the weather. Okay. Not going to be able to, most of the time, not going to be able to come out while it's raining or snowing. And then depending on what type of year it is, whether it's the summer or the winter, adequate time is going to be needed after a rain event to get the proper equipment in there to do the job. This truck sitting behind me, this is one of our smaller trucks. As you can see, it's still fairly big, but it weighs about, I don't know, a third or so of what our actual drill rig weighs. So we run into issues a lot where we either get our truck stuck or trying to make something happen, or we can't get into a job site and the customer's wondering, hey, where's the well driller at? Why has the well driller not showed up yet? We want our well done. He's been taking forever. They've been taking forever. Well, it's not always the well driller's fault. We know our equipment the best. We know when it can get in, when it's going to get stuck, which is not a good situation for you, the customer, or us, the well driller. So a lot of times, again, I know I haven't started answering your question yet, but the main thing is getting this activity done is highly dependent upon the weather. But the weather's good, everything's good, your site's good. Generally, it takes a day or so for the drilling operations to be done. Okay. At the worst, 2 days for, this is one well. And then come out and put the pump in or loop or whatever you're wanting to get done. Generally, that takes a day or less. Easy.
Okay. So, like I say, I'm wanting a residential well. I've got my house almost complete, or just getting in the process and want to make sure I've got water. So y'all have come out and drilled the well. We've installed the pump and everything. How does that? How do you get the water from 300, 400, or 500 feet down in the water actually to the house and plumb to the house? Do I need to call a plumber for that, or is that something that y'all can actually do as far as making connections to the house? And where's all this equipment that may be needed? I've been doing some research, and I know there's a tank involved and a pressure switch and all this other stuff. Where do you recommend us putting all of that equipment? Either out at the well, or I've seen people putting them underneath the houses and things like that.
Yep.
Bearing your expertise, kind of get to the question is, where would you prefer to have this stuff located? Either out at the well or underneath the house?
You're not going to like my answer here. I prefer to have it wherever the customer wants it.
Well, hey, I like that answer. Answer.
But my honest personal opinion is have this stuff out of the way, meaning out of the way where somebody could potentially run over it, out of the way where it's not going to have any freezing issues, out of the way where it's not taking up valuable storage space for the customer. Out of the way.
Yeah, okay. I like that. I like that.
We install it in all different places. Under the house is out of the way. For houses that are built on a slab that don't have any room to store it inside the house, out at the well site is out of the way. Some people even want to bury a tank out at the well.
Okay.
That's out of the way. Obviously, we don't like doing it because I don't want to have to dig it up. But we do it. So, ultimately, again, this is going back to what we hinted on earlier, any professional well drilling company out there is going to put it in a place that suits their customers' needs the best.
Okay. So, we've got this kind of wrapping up this Q&A. We've got this well installed, the whole 9 yards. I've been living here for 15, 20 years. What are some of the maintenance to keeping up with this well, and making sure that I'm not having to call you guys every year to do a maintenance check? Or is that something that y'all could offer possibly, to come out and just sample my water and make sure that everything's running properly? And what are some things that I kind of look for or can do on my own to make sure that my well is running properly from year in and year out?
So that's a good question as well. Yes, we do offer maintenance on your well. Well drilling companies out there offer that. They offer programs where they'll come out and check your well. Depending on if your particular well has a water treatment system installed or not. That water treatment system is going to be needed to be serviced filled back up with the right media in it,
Okay.
cleaned out. This is going to depend on how much water you, the customer, uses. If you have a typical cartridge filter, this filter may need to be changed, or it is going to need to be changed throughout the years. Life expectancies on pumps, tanks, 15 to 20 year time frame, you're going to be looking at changing those out. So there is some maintenance on it. There are maintenance things to consider, but for the most part, the idea behind it is to use it like you normally would if you were on city water.
Okay.
Just open the faucet, turn on the shower, step in there and start using water.
I like that. I like that. So we're just kind of wrapping up the Q&A portion of this live video. But like I say, if y'all have any questions, feel free to comment down below in the video, and we will definitely get back with you. I'll let him answer the questions. I'm just here to...
You don't want to answer them?
I'm going to let the professional answer them. So, like I say, if y'all see this video and have any questions, please feel free to, like I say, leave a comment down below for these guys to answer. Whether you are in South Carolina or in North Carolina,
or wherever around the world,
like he says, around the world, feel free to leave a comment, and we will try and get back with you as soon as possible to try and answer any of those questions out there. So, leaving the Q&A portion, you've probably been wondering what this piece of pipe is with some thread on it. Just kind of gives you an example of a story that he's going to tell you why, like I say, it's so important to call these guys. If you have any well issues, water issues, whether it's low pressure, no water at all, you just want us to come out and check it and make sure things are running properly. He's got a good story. I'm going to leave it to him to let him kind of go over this scenario. And like I say, Grant, take it away. And like I say, comment below.
So it's a pretty unique business we're in here. About any well driller you talk to, we see a lot of different stuff every day, which leads into my little visual aid here, and that's this guy. Looks like a prize, doesn't it?
Looks like somebody's duct taped it, and
they got some tar on there, and they got some metal, and they got all kind of stuff, and you're probably wondering what this is. Well, there was a strong well that was supplying water for a public well scenario, and it had old metal well casing on it. So this pipe here is just used to simulate a piece of well casing. Well, the well casing had rotted out above and below the ground, and we weren't involved. A well drilling company wasn't involved, but it started as they started getting stuff in their water, and so whoever was called to come out there and work on it saw the well casing rotted out above the ground, and they just said, "Oh, we'll just stick this on there. That'll fix it." So they made this little sleeve here and stuck it down below the ground about, I don't know, a foot or 15 inches or so, and then dropped their pump through there. All's well, right? No. So you can just envision this sitting here. You can just envision this being the old well casing here, but it's metal. This being installed over it. Okay, let's just say it's like that. But what's the problem? Not only is this not a suitable method of construction to fix corroded well casing, it doesn't fix what's below the ground either. So long story short, the problem still arose, and this ended up getting this a particular well shut down by the state. The state got involved and shut it down. And then they said, well, maybe we should just try to get rid of this well and try to find another water source. So that ensued. And believe it was 3 or 4 wells were done, and they couldn't find a proper well to meet the water flow rate characteristics of this well. And that's not the well drilling company's fault. You know, the well driller was just called out there to try to find another well that could replace this one. So then we got involved and didn't know anything about the situation, obviously. They just said, we want to try to find another well. We've got a well that's been contaminated, and just want to get rid of it. So then we got a geologist involved. They were wanting 40 or 50 gallons a minute or so. And we had the same thing happen to us. Went up there and couldn't find enough water to make the customer happy. And so then we recommended to the customer, you know, you've got enough holes on the property now. This was in a mountainous location, so sometimes in the mountains it can get tough trying to find a adequate water source. Sometimes it's you hit a lot or you don't hit any at all. So we said, well, why don't you just try to rehabilitate this hole and bring it up to standards? And so long story short, that's what this customer ended up doing. This got taken out. The well was brought back up to standards. A proper well casing was installed in lieu of the casing that was rotted out. The well was grouted. A concrete pad was poured around the well, and this well is getting ready to go back in operation. Moral of the story is, it doesn't matter who you call, but know who you're calling. All right. This is not how things are be done. This is not how things are to be done. Caused a lot of heartache for both the customer as well as his business that was being supplied by this well that got shut down. And I can guarantee you, a certified well driller or a pump installer or a pump serviceman that is licensed and that has been in the field for years did not go out there and do this. So I know I've been rambling on, but please, there's Google out there, there's the internet. There are quality companies out there that know what they're doing. So,
well, hey,
I can't say any more about it.
It's a good example. This is a good example for you guys and ladies out there that want a well or have an existing well, to make sure that you call, like I say, the professionals in your local area that are well drillers to know exactly what's going on with your well, and making sure that you're not, you know, harming the environment, but also not harming anyone in your family or your friends or something with a well. So, like I say, thanks for watching. We appreciate everything that y'all do for us. Like and subscribe with that thumbs up. And like I say, if y'all have any questions, feel free to comment. Visit the website at wendellleewellservices.com for other information or our contact information to get in touch with these guys if you're in the local South Carolina, North Carolina area. And like I say, these guys will help you out. Grant here is, like I say, by far one of the smartest people I know in the well drilling business. And
come on now. You need to quit buttering the audience up. Don't tell a lie.
He'll be glad to help you out. So like I say, thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll have more of these live videos coming soon. Just to kind of give y'all a chance to chime in and answer some questions for y'all. So stay tuned for those videos.
Tell us you like it. Tell us you hate it. Tell us what you want to see.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't care.
Exactly. So that's what we're here for. We're here for you guys. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the other one.